Thanksgiving is a time of traditions, not generally political traditions, but there are a few, and one of the big ones that no president can miss out on is the pardoning of the turkey. President Obama did that today.
On behalf of the Obama family, I want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. Tomorrow, as we gather with our own friends and family, we'll count ourselves lucky that there's more to be thankful for than we can ever say, and more to be hopeful for than we can ever imagine. And now, before these turkeys get away, with the power vested in me, I want to grant popcorn a full reprieve. Come on. I want popcorn. You have a full reprieve from cranberry sauce and stuffing. We wish you well, and we're going to give caramel a break as well. All right?
That's a lovely little family event that they had there, pardoning actually two turkeys, Caramel and Popcorn. Very cute names. I think it's kind of weird to name an animal that has been bred to not end up as food after food. That's a little bit odd. But two turkeys pardoned. That makes 10 turkeys for Obama that have been pardoned during his first and second terms. We'll get back to those numbers a little bit later on. But we do want to give you a little bit of information about the tradition. It started in the late 80s, actually. The research that I did came up with that apparently Reagan started it inadvertently by making a joke about pardoning the turkeys. Now, at that point in his second term, pardons were a pretty serious topic considering Iran-Contra. He decided to make light of it by talking about pardoning a turkey. And later on in '89, George H.W. Bush pardoned the first one, and it has happened every year since then. Now, these turkeys, as I alluded to earlier, are raised from birth specifically for the purpose of being pardoned later on. And actually, the way that they're bred, since they're not bred for food, they're bred for like the presentation on camera, they apparently are in horrible health and they very rarely live longer than a year after being pardoned. But during that time, over the past 20 years, they've been sent to different places, sometimes farms. There was a period of about 10 years where they would actually lead Disneyland and Disney World Thanksgiving parades, which is pretty fun. But sometimes this tradition can go wrong. Not at the presidential level, but since it became a big thing for the U.S., some governors have done it as well. You might remember Sarah Palin doing it, and it got a little bit weird, actually. So let's roll that.
Therefore, I, Sarah Palin, Governor of Alaska, anticipating and hoping that in the spirit of Thanksgiving, Alaskans everywhere will find adequate nourishment elsewhere, and without this particular turkey, I do hereby grant Thanksgiving a full amnesty and pardon, and it is so ordered, and we will pick one of the big toms to pardon, okay?
So nothing wrong with that so far, but she did want to talk to the camera afterward, and they changed locations a little bit. Let's take a look.
There's so many good Americans who are just desiring of their government to kind of get out of the way and allow them to grow and progress and allow our businesses to grow and progress. So great appreciation for those who share that value. And it was a blast. Every day was just a blast out there on the trail.
Any other future plans? Due to the declining oil prices, are you concerned about any state programs being on the chopping block?
You know, thankfully, we're in a good position still, fiscally speaking. We are in a good position, but it made no sense at $140 a barrel oil that some lawmakers wanted to spend. We were warning them then, the administration was, that we had to prepare for the day that the price of oil would plummet, which of course it has done. So we had prepared then, reined in the growth of government then, and we will now, that comes into play at this point, where those savings that we had set aside, forward funding, anticipating a drop in oil, accounting for that, all of that comes into play now at $50 barrel oil.
Great. So why was today so important for you?
Oh, well, this was neat. I was happy to get to be invited to participate in this, and so political, obviously, that it's nice to get out and do something to promote a local business and to just participate in something that isn't so heavy-handed politics that it invites criticism. Certainly will probably invite criticism for even doing this too, but at least this was fun.
I think that video is interesting in that it really points out sort of the inconsistency or hypocrisy of the tradition itself, that she goes inside and pardons one turkey that, for all we know, ended up getting killed anyway, while as she's doing that, they're just jamming turkeys into the machine to be slaughtered, and the guy is like turning and like smiling for the camera, because no matter what your job is, everybody wants to be famous for a few minutes. And so he did that while choking that turkey. But in terms of Obama and the current tradition of pardoning the turkey, I think that it's cute. I understand why they do it. Kids seem to like it. They like the idea that the turkey's going to go and live at a farm for the rest of its life. But it's a very odd holiday. Both because, one, it sort of makes a mockery of turkeys and other animals that are used for food. It's not like he pardons the turkey and then they go on to have a very merry vegan dinner for Thanksgiving. No, they eat other animals. And so it seems weird to choose one. It feels like the Hunger Games to me, or like you're sacrificing a bunch of humans, but you choose one as an example of your mercy or something. So that seems weird to me. But also, more importantly and more politically, it makes a mockery of pardoning. That was the whole point early on. As I said, that's what Reagan was doing. And now, Obama's pardoning turkeys. And as the Huffington Post has pointed out, he's pardoned 10 turkeys. He's only pardoned 11 drug users. There are certainly other things he could be using his pardoning power for that I think would have a better effect on the country. All the people who are brought in for using different types of illegal drugs, maybe Edward Snowden, Bradley Manning perhaps. I'm sure you could come up with a lot of different people who could be pardoned. Is it Marissa Alexander? She's appealing her decision in the self-defense stand your ground case. Maybe you could pardon her since she didn't hurt anybody and she's going to jail for over 20 years. So I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I don't want to be Buzz Killington. I understand it's just supposed to be cute and it's something we do in this country. But understand that politics does not end while the cameras are rolling on the pardoning of the turkeys. They remain, and I think that it casts a pretty interesting light on the use of the presidential pardon.